When she walked out of my life, she didn't slam the door or scream. She just packed her things neatly and told me she couldn't live in poverty anymore. I stood there silently, listening to the woman I once loved reduce our marriage to a price tag. She said she wanted more comfort, more money, more status. I had given her love, loyalty, and dreams, but those weren't enough for her. The divorce papers came quickly after that. She was cold and decisive, as though we had never shared years of memories together. The last thing she told me before leaving was, "You'll never be able to give me the life I deserve." Those words cut deep, but I said nothing. I watched her walk away, convinced that perhaps she would find what she was looking for, though I knew in my heart she was chasing an illusion. In the months that followed, I poured myself into my work. I was a man of simple means, but I had ambition and determination. The pain of her betrayal lit a fire in me I had never felt before. I started a small business, taking risks I had once been too cautious to try. Slowly, the risks paid off, and opportunities began to open. With every small success, I found not just financial stability, but also a growing sense of pride and confidence. While I was building, she was spending. I heard bits and pieces through mutual acquaintances, how she remarried quickly to a man with wealth, how she flaunted expensive bags and cars. For a time, she looked like she had everything she wanted. But life has a way of revealing truths slowly. The man she chose wasn't loyal, and his wealth wasn't limitless. Their marriage collapsed under greed and betrayal, much like ours had under her discontent. Years passed, and my business grew beyond my imagination. The boy she once left for being poor was no longer poor. I had a home of my own, financial freedom, and most importantly, peace of mind. But I never bragged, never sought revenge. I carried on quietly, believing that life itself had a way of balancing things. One day, I ran into her by chance. She didn't look like the same woman who had left me. Her confidence was gone, her eyes tired, her smile forced. She looked at me as though she couldn't believe what she was seeing. I was standing tall, well-dressed, and at ease. She struggled to make small talk, asking about my life, and when I mentioned my success lightly, she blinked back tears she didn't want me to see. She confessed, after a moment of silence, that leaving me had been the biggest mistake of her life. She admitted she thought money alone could make her happy, but instead, it had brought her pain and emptiness. She said she often remembered the days when we had very little but shared genuine laughter, love, and hope. Her voice cracked when she told me she wished she could turn back time. I listened calmly, but inside I felt a mix of emotions. Sadness for what could have been, relief that I had moved on, and gratitude for the strength her departure had forced me to find. I told her gently that life had given us both choices, and we had to live with them. I didn't say it with anger, only with truth. She begged to stay in touch, perhaps hoping for a second chance. But I knew better. Love, once broken in that way, couldn't be mended. Trust, once shattered, couldn't be rebuilt. I wished her well, but I walked away knowing I deserved someone who valued me for more than just a bank balance. That night, I reflected on everything. Sometimes the people who abandon us for shallow reasons give us the greatest gift, the chance to rebuild ourselves stronger. Her leaving pushed me to become the man I am today. And though she regretted her choice, I no longer carried bitterness, only wisdom. Life had proven a simple truth. Wealth can be earned, but loyalty and love cannot be bought. And in the end, it wasn't me who was poor. It was her.